A long time ago, on a comics page far, far away. Greetings and welcome to May the Panel Be With You, the Star Wars comic book show brought to you by the Punch Up Entertainment Network. I am your humble host, Mike Gargoni, and joining me, as always, the Dash Rendar to my Rick Duel, it's John Campbell.
We're both Han Solo knockoffs! Yeah.
I gave you Dash Rendar. That was pretty generous of me, John.
I really appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, man. Yeah, you are just a Han Solo with a goatee.
Yeah, 100%. If it wasn't obvious by now, we've fallen in love with Rick Duel.
Yeah. Oh, Rick Duel, man. And get ready, folks. If you enjoyed a Rick Duel last week on the show, there's so much more Rick Duel for you this week.
So much more Rick Duel. If you're jumping into this episode going like, who the fuck is Rick Duel? Listen to last week's episode. You'll get all the Rick Duel you could want and then come back for more.
Although, if you're wondering who he is, I already told you. He's Han Solo with a goatee.
Oh, Lord.
We are out of ideas, is what Marvel is saying.
We've got like 30 some odd more issues of this book to go, and we're already at Rick Duel.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Well, strap in. Rick Duel ain't going nowhere. He's sticking around.
I can't believe that. All right. Well, you're going to tell him what issue we're on here.
We're on issue number 71 of the original Marvel Star Wars comic series. This issue was released in May of 1983. We are ground zero for Return of the Jedi. This book in no way covers Return of the Jedi.
We've talked about this, that the comic won't acknowledge Return of the Jedi for a while until after it's already come and gone from theaters.
Issue number 80 is when we get to our post-Return of the Jedi coverage.
So, into the next year.
This issue, we've got a somewhat familiar creative team, but a little bit of change-ups here. We've got Joe Duffy on writing. We've got Ron Frenz as a penciler here, Tom Palmer on inks, Christy Scheel on colors, and Joe Rosen on letters, with a certain shooter in the distance, Jim Shooter, as always, lurking in the grand editorial forum.
But this creative team isn't having fun with his title. He's just back to editor-in-chief.
Because they're scared of him, John. He's terrifying in this era.
Have you ever seen Jim Shooter? It is really funny to know all the stories of him and then see him in real life, and you're like, oh, well, yeah, that guy would be the editor of Marvel Comics, because he's kind of like a gangly, nerdy dude with like a kind of boring voice. It's always such a weird thing. Every time I see him, I'm like, and he's just like, well, when I was editing the books, and you're just like, no, it's hard to imagine this, man who ruled with an iron fist that we've always made him out to be as comic book fans. He does have a high and tight, like, military J. Jonah Jameson cut, though, always. And still,
look, there might be a little bit of a crossover there. When is Secret Wars 2? Secret Wars 2 is 2 years from this issue. That's in 1985.
That's his Waterloo, right? That is kind of the undoing of Shooter, at Marvel, at least. Can I talk about this, though? I want to talk about this cover.
Let's get to the cover.
Because, look, I do my best on this show to not be too harsh. But this is one of the worst drawn covers I've ever seen.
Cover...
The ratios of stuff are all wrong. Like, the spatial relations. The faces are awful. And it's just bleh.
It's
sorry, that's my review. Bleh. It's muddy, yeah. It feels like it just feels quickly sketched and tossed off. I mean, it's a cool idea for a cover.
Because we've got Lando and Luke with their backs to the frozen body of Han Solo. And the captioning says, "The quest for Han Solo ends here." Yeah.
This is massive false advertising, folks.
Yeah, for a lot of different reasons, and we'll get into it as we get through the issue. But
and I can imagine if the movie's coming out this month and people are going like, "Ooh, this will go right into it," right? No.
No. Because, see, here's the thing. We're never 100% certain when the people writing these books at Marvel know details about the movies they're about to come out. We can say with fair certainty that, no offense to Mary Jo Duffy, knew nothing about what was happening with
which is crazy
Return of the Jedi.
Well, yeah, and it is really weird to think about that now in today's world of corporate synergy, right? Where like literally, I'm sure you've seen it, like the Superman writing staff is on the set of the James Gunn movie.
Yeah.
Like, right, where it's just like, oh, it's all one thing and we have to coordinate and make sure that even the comics that aren't directly connected are in some ways reflecting themes from the movie and stuff like that.
And we know that there was a little bit of Lucasfilm oversight over at Marvel Comics. We've read interviews with some of the writers that like they would have to submit their work and get it like approved. But I don't think we're quite at the like Pablo Hidalgo running the story group level of oversight that we'd eventually get to.
No, not at all. And it does feel like, I don't know, that was definitely the case going into Empire. That feels like it's not the case as much on Jedi, right? I don't know, or at least, because I mean, at least just reading this, it doesn't feel like anybody here has any idea what Lucasfilm is doing.
Yeah.
And the movie's out at this point, you know? So, I mean, you got to figure. I mean, obviously, when they wrote this, it wouldn't have been out.
Sure,
but like,
we've got some lag time.
Sure, but it does seem like now we would live in a world where they'd be screening it for the comic staff, right?
Maybe.
They'd at least get...
Especially if it was over at Marvel. If this was still like... I don't think the guys at Dark Horse were being consulted when the prequels were coming out.
No. No, but it's all under one corporate umbrella right now, which is Disney. So, you know, I mean, literally everything is being... I'm sure that they're talking to the... Although, I've mentioned this before, Tony Gilroy has been very clear about, like, I don't care what the comics said. I just made up my own... Yeah, I'm not gonna, you know. So the comics always, in all of these, even in today's corporate synergy world, are canon until they're not. Right? That's sort of how I look at them.
The only thing comics like are sitting in front of in terms of like where they sit in the canon is video games. Right? Yeah. Video games are always bottom of the barrel where that stuff is concerned.
Absolutely, and it's very interesting to look at what the Star Wars video games have become, which is just doing their own thing for the most part with original characters who maybe occasionally, you know, bounce off of canon characters.
Or let's be perfectly honest, Darth Vader and Saw Gerrera will show up occasionally.
And Lando in a DLC, baby.
And Hondo in a DLC. But Hondo is basically DLC for all of Star Wars.
Here's the thing, I've heard rumblings. I always hear rumblings. He might show up in something, and I would be thrilled. We're both big Hondo Ohnaka fans.
Absolutely. But he's always just going to show up as a tertiary thing in whatever it is you're watching.
The fact that he is the star of one of the rides in the theme park is the perfect example of that, right? That is the greatest use of Hondo.
Let's get into this issue.
Yeah. Anyway, so terrible cover that is also a lie.
Yeah. But let's get into something that like maybe would have been more fun as the cover, which is Lando and Luke.
I wish Hondo. Yeah. No, I love Lando too.
Looking at a display of Bosk and IG-88. Here's 4 characters that everybody loves.
I will say, opening this up, I'm like, here we go. This is what I want. Where it's just like, these are who we're after.
Yep, and then we get a recap of everything that's happened when Luke.
As you remember,
yeah.
Look,
we've given this comic shit for like being totally devoid of continuity before, but when they try to stick to their own continuity, we get pages like this, though.
It is true. Well, we've talked about it. It is insane how long it takes for them to figure out. Just put a 1 page at the front saying previously on Star Wars. I do love Luke's line of, think you'll recognize them if you ever see them? Of course I will, Luke. Yeah, they're 2 of the most recognizable beings ever. I gotta say.
One's the only droid with guns, the other's a giant lizard person.
Yeah, I think they're on a planet full of gargoyle people. I think we're gonna be fine.
Which is so funny because later in the issue we have a mistaken identity scenario.
I know. Yeah, but it is just like, they used to be teamed up with Boba Fett, the bounty hunter who caught our friend Han Solo. That is maybe the worst line of dialogue. You know, the bounty hunter who caught our best friend in the world.
And when he froze him in carbonite, like Darth Vader was planning to do to you, Luke Skywalker, who is possibly a Jedi in training.
Yeah. And delivered him to the man who bought him. And then Luke goes, Jabba the Hutt, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
Hutt with 2 T's.
Yeah, they have, well, I don't know. It wasn't that long ago they were saying 1 T, so anyway, I gotta say
we're on the month of Return of the Jedi releasing. The Jabba the Hutt trading cards are out in the world. Topps is on top of it.
I think he's in a Macy's somewhere too.
Oh, the Jabba the Hutt toy, I believe, came with the like Jabba's throne room playset. I don't think the Jabba toy was like extant on its own.
I have somewhere. It's at my parents'. We had, we were a Montgomery Ward's family because my grandfather was an executive there for like 4 decades.
Okay.
A big brag. Yeah. No, I mean, but anyway, we had, one things I had was I think it was the 1984 Montgomery Ward's Christmas catalog, which was a fun sort of novelty thing. But in it has, hey kids, all the Return of the Jedi toys.
Nice, yeah.
Which had the Jabba of the throne room. It had the Ewok treehouse,
of course.
Yeah.
Sarlacc pit.
Yep, all that sort of stuff. All the characters in their undercover bounty hunter disguises, right?
Of course, even the ones that didn't have them. Yeah,
everyone's favorite. The figure every kid got for Christmas that they didn't want, Bib Fortuna. He's a Star Wars character. Yeah, I'm looking at the Jabba the Hutt action playset.
Of course.
From 1983, Kenner Toys. And yeah, he's on the slab, of course. The playset had you could yank the floor out and the characters would fall into the pit.
Cool.
That's pretty rad, actually.
Rancor came separately, if I'm not mistaken, though.
There's no Rancor, but you can drop them into the Rancor pit. Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, you got the Jabba figure, but not the other characters. Those you had to buy separately.
Yeah.
You had to buy even your Salacious Crumb. They could have given you a Salacious Crumb, man.
Hey, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Salacious Crumb come with another character?
Oh, I think he and Bib Fortuna might have come together.
Yeah.
I think you're right on that. Yeah. Or maybe it was like an Ugnaught.
Yeah, those half-size characters are always just like, well, they're not going to sell that by itself.
Yeah. There's a reason it's always a rocketing Groot set, for the Guardian stuff.
There's a reason R2 always comes with the X-Wing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and he plugs in perfectly. Yeah, R2 and 3PO is a good set too, right?
Mm-hmm. Classic.
Oh man, this was rad. I kind of want this now.
All right. We get a quick action scene of Lando doing a quick draw and Luke pulling out his lightsaber that he shouldn't have.
I gotta say, I was insulting about the art on the cover, which I think is a different artist because they don't look the same in here. I don't know who did the cover, or it was the same artist doing it quickly. But I gotta say, some amazing cape acting from Lando here in the art.
Oh yeah, we love Lando with a good cape.
Batmaning at one point here. Before he does the quick draw.
Pulls the cape in, then whips it out to the side, pulling his gun. Yeah, good stuff.
For no reason other than just flourish, which is totally on character for him. And then Luke pulling out that lightsaber that we don't know how he has it.
Shouldn't have it. Anyway, they're like, boy, I hope Han's still alive. And Lando being like, he'll be okay.
Sure, little buddy. I'm sure.
We've seen the trailers for the next movie. He's fine.
Yeah. Harrison agreed to the contract deal that they were... Because we've talked about this. He was the only one who didn't have a 3-picture deal. So it was like, is he going to come back? There was actually like, they had to talk him into Jedi. And the reason he got frozen in carbonite was because we don't know. We need an out if he's not here.
Right.
Yeah. Thank God he didn't, because that'd be really weird. Jedi would really suffer. It's just like, well, we never did find Han Solo. Yeah. All right, so out they go, and they're walking out with Chewbacca, and then it's just like, hold on there, little buddy, or big buddy in this case. You're not going anywhere, Chewbacca.
He's too recognizable, Lando says.
And then the comedy beat of R2 running into Chewbacca?
Sure. Yeah, Chewbacca stops suddenly, R2 bumps Pweets into him.
Yeah.
And then Lando tries just like, nothing personal, R2 can't come either. And Luke basically walks him through the logic here of just like, he's right. Droids aren't really here. There's basically no other Wookiees. You'd stand out too much.
They're not gonna. They might just let 2 humans walk by, but they're gonna notice the 7-foot-tall furry guy and the little droid.
Yeah,
I do like the beat of Luke pulling R2 off the ground too.
After R2, we haven't established that he has rocket boosters yet, so him like standing up is hard.
Is R2 one of the most like retcon upgraded characters in anything? Where it's like,
yes,
whoa, he could do that the whole time.
Second only to RoboCop from RoboCop the animated series.
Well, RoboCop on the animated series could do anything the story required him to.
He was basically Inspector Gadget.
Pretty much, yeah. And for those people who are like, there was a RoboCop animated series? Yes, and it's weird.
He has roller skates.
Yeah, but it still acknowledges, not to go off on this complete tangent, but do yourself a favor, go watch the opening sequence of it, because it still shows the gang murder him, like in the movie. His backstory is still that of the incredibly R-rated film.
Yeah.
But then it's just a kid show. It's so weird. It's one of the weirdest goddamn shows.
It's right up there with the Rambo animated series in terms of like...
Yeah, this weird thing where they were like, we can turn these R-rated adult action franchises into kid shows.
Yeah.
Rambo is so weird because obviously it's a franchise inherently about PTSD. Anyway, is that Chewie going haronk?
Well, that's his sad sound, John. He's going haronk.
Haronk. And then he goes, don't worry, we'll call you when we find Han. Why do they think Han is on this planet?
No idea.
Because they're looking for IG-88 and Bosk to tell them where Han would be, but now Luke is talking about if we find Han.
The no prize I have here is that, like, okay, we know that Lando and Luke split up to find IG-88 and Bosk, and then they got back together because they figured out that both of those bounty hunters are on the same planet. So I guess the logic here is if the two of them are here, maybe they're still hunting for Boba Fett who betrayed them. And we know that Boba Fett is walking around with Han's frozen body because earlier in this book we have confirmed that it hasn't been delivered to Jabba the Hutt yet.
Yeah, fine. They didn't put that kind of thought into it, but I'm glad you did.
That is in no way on this page. I am absolutely just like figuring out a chain of logic that makes it make sense.
Yeah, and then my reaction is like, I'll go with that. So anyway, Lando goes, that's the capital of Stenos? It seems a little small. And then Luke's just like, oh, it was so much worse last time we were here.
Yeah. And Luke briefly recaps last week's issue.
Yeah. Right. Remember that story I literally just told you?
Yeah, let's go over it in detail now.
Yeah, that's how it works here. And they almost killed you, if I remember correctly. I was listening.
But as we're walking through the streets of this place, we don't see any of those big gargoyle guys. But we do notice that they're up in the sky holding lanterns.
I don't know. But it also does seem like you've got a couple stormtroopers, but there's like, look, I don't want to guess as to her profession, but I think she might be a working gal. There's kind of a Deadwood vibe to this town now.
Deadwood, we get a little bit of Mos Eisley. It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I see a lot of humans, a few Imperial stormtroopers. I have a lot of questions about Stenos that this comic refuses to answer, which is like, what is now the Imperial presence on the planet?
Or like, why are there people congregating on this planet? What is, other than it being like a rocky wasteland full of horrible flying gargoyle men, we've seen nothing that would attract people to this world.
And I love the idea that it's like, now that the curse is up, they've just taken to the sky permanently?
Well, because on the next page, we do see that there is a couple of them walking around. Lando says, hey, nice planet you have here. And he gets hissed at.
Yeah, nice planet. Hey, buddy. I told you, they don't like aliens or anyone else.
But as long as we don't interfere with them. Oh, because we found out, like, last issue that the, what are they called? The Stenaxes? They just hate everybody.
But they don't like aliens or anyone. I'm just curious, who's the anyone else? Wouldn't anyone that's not from Stenos be an alien to them? I'm just bagging on the writing a little too hard there. All right. Yeah.
Lando's laying it out for Luke, though, because he's like, look, Luke, you try to handle things your way, but now we're dealing with the underworld. This is Lando's game. We got to go figure out the best way to approach this is start off where all crime and bad guys end up, the local cantina.
I actually do like that. I do like that Lando would be like, I know from crime, Luke, and I'll tell you where crime is happening at the nearest bar. But okay, my last question is just, literally he says, they don't like aliens or anyone else, and then goes, this place is even more crowded than before. So they've gained control of their planet. They don't like aliens, but there are now more aliens around.
Yes.
All right. Because when we go in the bar, there's a whole bunch of weird Lord of the Rings characters.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta say, this pink skin guy is having a bad night. I like he's just like, oh god.
We've got the double horned like Cyclops guy from a Ray Harryhausen movie.
There are so many characters that are just not Star Wars characters, and that is definitely one of them. Right down to the like weird, like bejeweled wrist bracelet he's got on.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was from his remnant when he was chained to a rock by Zeus, John.
I think Lou Ferrigno killed this guy in the movie. And then, a pink guy who's at the end of his rope, having his life is ruined.
Uh-huh.
Oh God! What
on the next page, we do have one of the Stenaxis is the bartender here.
This is what I'm talking about, and I was saying this in last week's issue too. They are always hissing at everybody, never communicating, yet are somehow also running businesses.
Yes, they are.
Barkeep, even though he just goes. Hurr. And they're over serving based on now a second guy with his head down on the bar.
Yeah. So Lando lays it out for Luke. Luke, you got to leave this to a man with some style, a man of subtlety, a man who knows his way around cities. You go blundering around with that direct approach you usually favor, and someone might remember that they've seen you here before.
This is such a sitcom joke.
Because immediately after Lando says, at least we know I won't be recognized, someone from across the bar stands up and shouts,
"Stop that man! He's Lando Calrissian!"
Known cheat and highwayman Lando Calrissian. As a guy from across the bar is like, I tell you that man is a cheat. He robbed me. 10,000 credits to the one who captures Lando Calrissian.
Also, I hate the full-on Looney Tunes thing of that statement appearing to physically smack Lando in the face.
Yeah, there's a little bit more cartooniness happening here.
Oh! And Luke being like, oh no!
This is Drebble.
I do like the name Drebble.
Who is apparently somebody Lando, shocker of shockers, cheated out of some money.
And Lando's apparently a big enough classic movie fan to drop this Casablanca reference. With all the water and holes on all the worlds, why did I have to run into him here?
If anyone was going to reference Casablanca, it would be Lando Calrissian.
Lando. Yeah. Lando? Not radically dissimilar to a Rick Blaine, the main character of Casablanca.
If we think of Cloud City as Casablanca itself, honestly,
it's kind of accurate, actually. Because the whole thing in that movie is he's a guy in a Nazi-controlled area who's kind of playing both sides. Yeah. He's kind of a Rick of Star Wars.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
literally everyone in the bar stands up with guns and says 10,000 credits.
There's two separate sitcom punchlines here. There's who's going to recognize me? The guy recognizes him, and then he goes, who's going to listen to a bag of wind like him? And then everyone pulls out guns.
Literally
two separate,
everyone. Well, at least we got them all out of the way right now.
Money?
In this crowd of people, we got, let's see, we've got a weird bug man. We've got, what's his name?
I see Dracula in there.
There's Dracula. There's the creature from the Black Lagoon.
He's over there, yeah.
We got a Frankenstein in there.
The two orange guys who are basically the same guy, except one has a line on his head and the other guy has two circles, but are essentially the same orange creature.
I'm pretty sure the guy from second from the left is Firestar from the X-Men.
I was gonna say he was Hawkman, but yeah. Yeah. And then just kind of they really blend into just like blue-faced guys with white eyes in the background.
Yeah, eventually just becomes potatoes.
Yeah. And then, the Mothman from the Mothman prophecies is all the way to the left there.
Oh yeah, good for him. Finding work where he can.
Richard Gere won't return my phone calls. Oh, and the guy... The Frankenstein monster also looks like the Thing from the Howard Hawks Thing from Another World.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah, if he had a gun. And so once again, sorry, the next page, Lando, in attempting to save Luke Skywalker, has obviously killed him by breaking his neck. Based on
Lando Gwen Stacy's Luke Skywalker here.
Or his head is just coming off. He appears to have no neck, and his head has separated from his shoulders.
Well, look, that can happen with the action figures sometimes.
I gotta say, man, the rushed art is really showing in this issue.
But yeah, it shows him behind a table. We got laser fire coming from every which way.
Yeah.
Drebel, who is like rocking some Baron Harkonnen vibes here.
Seriously, yeah, big time.
Is shouting to get them.
I'll give you a reward for the little one, too. And I'll just step outside and stay out of everyone's way until you're finished. As a shot to zings by him.
Yeah, I like this Luke dialogue here. He's like, leave it to me, he said. Style and subtlety, he said.
I actually think the writing of them is not bad, because I also like the, did you really cheat him? Luke, among men of business, cheat is a subjective, relative term. It's open to some very broad interpretations. Like, I do like that feels on brand for these characters.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, of course, Lando. I mean, Lando, because the difference between Han is a smuggler, right? He's a pirate. Lando is a con man.
Lando's a con man and a card shark, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. One of the things I really like in the modern comics is like he doesn't even really use a blaster. He's always like, "I'll just charm my way out of this," like.
If Lando can't talk his way out of a situation, he's already failed.
Yeah, that's the thing, and that's what I love about Lando. That separates him from being a Han Solo knockoff for sure. Because Han always fails to con people is the joke.
Meanwhile, Lando with Han's blaster pops up and starts shooting.
He would have wanted me to have it, Luke. And actually, Luke kind of has Han's blaster, too, just based on the barrel.
Yeah, a little bit. But then we see, what's that? It's a lizard person leaving the bar.
Even though it's clearly not Bosk.
Yeah.
It doesn't look anything like Bosk.
Look, this is a situation of mistaken identity here, in which Lando and Luke, for a hot second, get pretty racist, because all Trandoshans look the same to them.
Which is funny, because you would think in a comic book, it would be easy to make all Trandoshans look the same. But this one doesn't.
To be fair, their art in like what even Bosk looks like has been a little all over the place.
This is true, because Bosk is not orange to begin with.
And this Bosk is getting some like mammalian features. We got like a big, weird, ridged nose and some ears. Bosk don't have ears.
But I do think it's weird that he's hanging out with a Jawa that's joined the KKK.
A white cloaked Jawa is an interesting thing to see.
Yeah, it's a very interesting, and the idea that they're just like, there's no, that's just there, and we're like, wait, what?
Jawas are all over the place. They're not just on Tatooine.
No, that's true. But the idea that like, but as any kind of Star Wars fan, we're like, okay, but why is it wearing a white cloak? What does that mean?
That's the Emperor of the Jawas.
Yeah. I want to hear about this story.
That's the Grand Wizard Jawa, John.
I also, yeah, he really, anyone in a white hood, I'm a little bit like, if you're not Moon Knight, even him, I got to look at side-eyed sometimes. I do like Lando. What do you plan to do with that lightsaber?
And Luke's just like, hey, cover me. And Luke goes full Jedi on the next page.
Full Jedi, full back. I mean, this is pretty awesome. This is what you're looking for out of a Star Wars comic. Luke is doing backflips around, blaster fire.
We've complained a little bit in the past about how Luke's progression towards full Jedi that we see in Return of the Jedi is maybe a little stunted in the comics, and this one's just like, fuck it. He's leaping around with a lightsaber.
And he slices open, he cuts down a support pillar and brings down part of the roof on these guys. Pretty awesome.
And then he cuts his way out through the 5th story of this place.
Yeah. All of this is awesome, except for I don't know why he has that lightsaber. That's it, though. Other than that,
don't worry
pretty
about
cool.
it.
Yeah.
It's because it comes with the toy. Anyway, they cut their way out and they go leaping across the roof.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Drebble is outside.
Yeah. Get me Lando Calrissian on that boy!
And then someone, I don't know who, punches him in the face.
Just a fist comes into frame and decks him, right? Clearly, shatters his nose.
He says, you hit me right in the most expensive teeth credits can buy.
I kind of like that line. That gives you... And then, meanwhile, a certain droid who is insanely recognizable.
The fact that the IG-88 is just sitting at a table in this wrecked bar now, having seen all of these events transpire, and at no point did Luke or Lando go, hey, that's IG-88 over there.
I'm just trying to figure out why he's hanging out with Racer X from Speed Racer, though.
Oh, yeah, good question. I don't know. Better question, why is IG-88 in a bar?
I know. Because obviously he doesn't have a drink in front of him, because of course he wouldn't. So he's just sitting in this bar, and he's got he just has his rifle out on the table in front of him.
Wow, look, IG-88 cannot be fucked with.
Yeah, and then the 2 little dots on his face light up with recognition, I guess? Yeah, weird. It's weird to think about what IG-88 is doing in his leisure time.
IG-88 does not have leisure time. If anything, IG-88's leisure time is making copies of IG-88 to propagate across the galaxy in order to create the droid uprising that is the goal.
You don't think of this guy as having time off. He's hunting bounties 24/7, right?
Or installing his programming in the Death Star 2. Look it up.
It's in there, folks. That's canon.
Well, it was.
It used to be Disney. No, I have no issue with that. That's fine. I can live with that not being canon. All right. Okay, so anyway, Luke and Lando have now landed. And this is, once again, I actually think Mary Jo Duffy's writing not bad here. The whole thing about, are you okay, Lando? I'll let you know as soon as I lose this ringing in my head, and my arms, and my legs, and my stomach. That's good. I can hear Billy D. Williams saying that. You know what I mean? That's
Lando, not the man of action.
No, once again, you talk about if he can't talk his way out of a situation, the idea of cutting a hole in a wall and having to dive out of it is like Lando has failed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he got his cape dirty,
Yeah. But thankfully, Luke hears someone walking past. This is an insane bit of logic here. So
I hear someone
suddenly saying, I hear someone, cut to a crowd of people 5 feet away.
So you want Lando to be like, which one? Who? What? Look, Lando, it's Bosk.
And it's not. It's just a different lizard person. But
I love making 2 of our heroes very stupid.
Yeah. And anyway, they go charging after this other Trandoshan.
You would think this would be a perfect example of how he could use the Force. Like, if you want to show him where it is like, well, no, we've lost Bosk. And he's like, hold on. If I can focus on it. Something like that, right? Like, wouldn't that be an opportunity to do something like that?
We look on this page at the person they're misinterpreting as Bosk. What kind of clothing would you say that Trandoshan is wearing that we see in Cell?
I mean, he appears to be wearing like a jumpsuit.
Yeah, let's cut to the next page to the person they chase down. So they chase down this other Trandoshan who isn't a Trandoshan because they've got ears and nose.
Yeah. And an earring.
They're wearing a totally different outfit than what we just saw.
Yeah, now they're in like robes.
And it's a lady, first off.
Well, you can tell because of the earring, obviously. That's a very early 1980s idea, but sure.
Yeah. And anyway, they grab her and they're like, "Oh wait, this ain't Bosk. Sorry, ma'am. Wonder what happened to Bosk."
Good stuff, man. Once again, you have the galaxy's greatest con man and a fucking Jedi Knight, and both of them are like, I thought that lady was Bosk.
Let's pile on to this stupidity here, because then we have Drebel out on the street and Luke going, "We've circled back to the bar."
These guys are incompetent.
And also, one of the minions from a Johnny Quest episode is in the front of the panel.
Oh, absolutely. Oh no, Race Bannon!
Could you please state your name, your profession, and your licensing to the court? Lizard Man, and Lizard Man.
Yeah. And he does turn around like, what? What the what?
So yeah, now they're being chased by another mob.
Yeah, and also they went around and they were still in a crowd of people, but now suddenly there's no one in front of them, so they can run from this mob.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So they are like, quick, we can get through that doorway. And Lando goes one way and Luke goes another, because apparently there's a bit of miscommunication there.
This is all such like yakety sack Scooby-Doo kind of like.
Oh, I could for sure hear the like the fucking
yakety they're like, not that way, this way, Lando. Oh no, but you know.
Yeah.
And then
anyway, Luke's in a dark room, and then he senses somebody behind him and says, "All right, whoever you are over there, step out into the light," as he ignites his lightsaber. And who's this? Everyone's favorite fourth tier.
You could hear the audience applaud.
Rick Duel, goatee and all, comes out into the light.
And also, between issues, he's gained a C in his name, at least on this page.
Look, it's not like we have the same writer between issues. Oh, wait, hold on.
I can't. How are they? Jesus. How is no one? I mean, it really does speak to just no one is paying attention to this book, right?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's Rick Duel. He's there. He's in the flesh.
Yeah.
And Luke is like, "Oh, this asshole."
And hey, man, it's been years since I've seen you, and you're wearing the same outfit.
But John, that's what the action figure looks like. We can't change it.
They never made any action figures.
No,
not
of Rick Duel. No way.
I'm looking. Let's see if they ever at any point made a Rick Duel action.
No,
figure.
Easy way to check this, John. Just like, when's the oldest Jackson action figure?
I found someone who made a custom one.
Someone kit bashed Rick Duel.
Yeah, and actually, it's not bad. I'm going to send it to you. I'm throwing it in the chat, Gergani. Here it comes.
Okay,
get ready. They made it in the style of what would have been a figure of the time, right? In the 3 3/4 style. Yeah. Okay. I'm throwing it into the chat. There he is. From eBay. You can buy this for $135 on eBay right now. And it's not bad.
I'm going to bring this up on the screen. I'll try to make it so people... No, no one's on YouTube is going to be able to see this. I'm sorry. But yeah. Okay, it's fine. Yeah.
I mean, it's Han Solo with a fucking goatee.
They just fucking put a Hans Gruber head on him.
Yeah. Oh, man. If anyone knows where to get a Hans Gruber action figure, let me know.
Anyway, so yeah, it's Rick Duel. Luke is like, "Oh, fuck you, guy. I was hoping I'd seen the last of you."
I do I bet you thought you'd never see me again. Hope is more like it.
But Rick Duel laying out some logic here is like, "Look, I betrayed you. You betrayed me. We're square, right? And you need help, I think."
Yeah, besides, judging from the sound of that lynch mob out there, good lord. Yeah, and he goes, it looks like we all thought the Stenaxes killed you. Oh, let me explain why that didn't happen.
I handed it over to Governor Matron, and they killed him.
Yeah, and it was pretty sweet.
Also, why haven't I left this planet since then? Don't worry about it.
Unclear. I do like, I yelled, "He's profaning Vol, get him," and they did.
But then Luke wisely is like, "Hold on, there were 2 other people that came in your collector's box set. Where are they?"
And oh boy, right on cue, Danny is all over him.
Yeah, remember Danny, that definitely not an Orion from Star Trek Red lady from last time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
she is all up in Luke's business.
Yeah, she gives him a tonsil inspection real quick in this next page.
Right after just wrapping him up and just touching everything.
Yeah, look. She's a lady who knows what she wants, and what she wants is Luke Skywalker's mouth in her mouth.
And she gets it. She's a lady who gets what she wants.
Meanwhile,
and then he
Luke,
says,
completely like unsure of how to handle this situation. It's like, hey, Danny, watch out for my saber. Wink, wink.
Yeah. They knew what they were doing with that line, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Watch out for my saber.
If you touch the blade, it'll... And then the sentence
all
doesn't
right.
end.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mary Jo Duffy. You know what you're doing.
Your children. Don't worry, lover boy. I'll light a lantern so that you can turn the blade off.
Hee because he has an erection.
I might need a second to get this blade off.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. And then, then he goes, okay, well, now let's talk about this. Where's Cheeto? And she just goes, who cares? And she's still all over him.
Yeah, because we get this thing here of like Zeltrons never do. Once you've aroused their interest.
So, I mean, is that the idea that like once they're aroused by somebody, they're like obsessed with them? Is that the idea?
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, that's not great.
No, not really.
I mean, the Orions were better, presented than this.
In like expanded lore, you remember how Prince Gisor had those weird pheromones so he could date people?
Who could forget?
Yeah. Zeltrons sort of have the reverse of that, which makes it way grosser in some ways.
Yeah, they become obsessively in love with someone.
They like pheromone imprint on somebody and then get sort of like mildly obsessed with them. Yeah.
I mean, I will say, other than, the idea that he's got a mission to focus on, it's not like Luke's with anybody. So I don't know, man, maybe go for it.
Anyway, where's Cheeto? Who cares? He was here a few hours ago.
Where'd he get to?
Everyone should be asking, where's Cheeto? Well,
luckily they are. And he's and then Rick Duell is like, I think I might know where he is, but it would be bad. I was like, we talk about Luke is kind of bringing the heat on himself with that. Oh, he's like undone 4 buttons on it. Did she do that to him? Is that the idea?
I think so.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's go a couple of pages back just to... Nope. His deep V goes like halfway down the navel before she gets hands on him.
So yeah, that's just how Luke rocks his look.
So, John, are you saying he was asking for it for dressing like that?
I'm not saying it.
God.
No. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, you walk around like that, you're going to get attention.
So, they're like, hey, we need help finding Cheeto. Hey, Luke, can you help us? And Luke literally says, I guess so?
Hey, man, where's Lando?
Don't worry, we'll get back to him. Anyway, aren't you afraid that the Stenexes might take sides in this? And again, Rick Duell is just like, don't worry about the Stenexes.
Yeah, cares.
Anyway, they go out into the night. They're telling Luke to stay close. Danny's saying, very close.
Oh, I mean, God, it is like, I get it, lady, but calm down. My God.
Keep it in your pants.
Yeah, holy God.
As they're moving, though, Lando's like, Luke, what the fuck are you doing? Get over here.
Yeah.
Lando being completely rational in this scenario.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, man, look, I like the ladies as much as the next guy, but what? And he's like, I found him. And Luke says, Bosk. And we turn the page. He goes, forget Bosk. I found Han.
Lando is so dumb in this issue. It makes me sad.
Once again, for a character who is canonically like the most clever, like a guy who has to be 5 steps ahead to stay alive kind of guy, is so stupid.
Because we find that like Lando leads Luke over to a couple of guys transporting what looks like somebody frozen in carbonite.
Yeah.
So I
I mean,
guess
how many people would be frozen in carbonite, I guess, would be the answer, right? Like,
but the fact that they haven't even gotten eyes on Han's face here.
yeah,
All they
he
see,
isn't going, I think it might be Han. He
no,
is
they
doing
said-
it as, that's Han.
Yeah. There's somebody frozen in carbonite. It has to be Han Solo.
Yeah. Yeah, I would just back it up to like, it's got to be Han. Odds would say, something like that. It's a metal storage block. When they caught Han, they had him frozen in carbonite. And then then flashback to Empire Strikes Back in the middle of this comic.
Yeah, we get a whole flashback page about Empire Strikes Back in the middle of this comic.
Yeah.
It's not a bad looking page, but the fact that we get it like 17 pages in is a little weird.
Yeah. So they just go like, yeah, that's right, and they did. Han's the best friend any man could have, the best partner any Wookiee could have. I know, he's great. We all love Han Solo.
So they call back to the ship. They're like, hey, Chewie, I know we told you to wait on the ship, but we maybe found Han Solo, so keep waiting on the ship.
Yeah. I think we're onto something. We'll check back.
We get one frustrated panel of Chewie, fists to the heavens, going, whoa.
And now he's got R2 worked up, but whoop.
Oh, if you get R2 worked up, there's no calming him down.
Okay, so they're following, and then we get this weird shot of one of the Stanaxes going, what's going on down there?
It's almost as if the things that happened in the last flashback issue should have some relevance.
Yeah.
Anyway, next page.
Don't worry. That's just there to remind you that they're there.
They got this person in carbonite being transported into the page. We give Lando some time to give him the old rope-a-dope so Luke can sneak around the side and knock a guy out with a brick.
Yeah.
Luke using it's a brick. He has a big square pice of something in his hand.
I don't know what else to call it. Yeah.
And he beats this guy to a pulp.
Like, that guy may technically be alive, but like, he's never going to be the same, right?
At the very least, he's not going to be able to talk the same.
Yeah, I mean, his jaw is broken, if not some brain damage.
Yeah.
And then I understand they're trying to do a perspective thing, but the giant hand on Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, that's weird.
Go 3D.
Challengers of the unknown, Luke Skywalker. Let's go.
And then, if that wasn't enough, he kicks a guy across this alley.
Yeah, I do like the panel layout here. It's just like two guards in a corridor. Cut to Lando's fist and Luke's kick. Cut to both guards are gone and Luke and Lando are breaking in.
Yeah, but I just like how the guy... Number one, I like the guy was smoking, and Luke kicked him, and the guy's cigarette is still in the air with the smoke trail.
Oh, I didn't notice that detail. That's very good, actually.
I like that, yeah. I mean, it's very...
Kicked him away from the cigarette, but the cigarette remained positioned in the same spot.
I was waiting for, don't you know smoking is bad for you?
Don't buy those death sticks.
Yeah, that's right. I said cigarette. I should have said death stick. All right, so they go, of course, they have to find that the carbonite slab is turned to its back is turned to them, so of course they can't see it. Oh no, it's horrible, they say, and we turn the page. That's not Han, it's Cheeto!
And you're surrounded, said Bosk.
And IG-88 and the rest.
The rest.
Yeah. Well, literally, all we see is some hair, a kind of bald head, a hood, a leg, and then just gun barrel.
And gun barrel.
Yeah.
And
two.
And I was there too.
Yeah. With them. Who is everyone? Yeah.
So they got Cheeto. Justice for Cheeto.
They got him, man. They got him. I don't know. I don't know.
Next, it's Fool's Bounty. So, okay, clearly they've been really dumb and walked into a trap here.
But also the cover promised me that the hunt for Han Solo was over.
Right, because the movie's
Not?
up, John.
Yeah, it is. If you go to a theater right now.
They found him. He's right there.
Yeah, go see the movie. It's good. That's what it says at the end of they have done that. You've read some of those prequel comics they've released that do end with like to be continued this summer in this movie or whatever. Yeah. They weren't doing that then.
I remember Shattered Empire, John. We all remember Shattered
We
Empire.
all thought the answers were in there, man. I devoured that thing going like, okay, this is going to have all the stuff in it that I need to know. Forest trees. Remember the forest trees. That's going to be a big part of the movie. It wasn't. I don't think it ever comes up.
I don't know if Poe Dameron ever says the name of his parents, who are some of the main characters of that book.
Yeah. His father, Cass Dameron, right?
Sure, yeah.
And his mom, whose name I've already forgotten. I think it's Shauna something. It sounds kind of like Shira Bree. Anyway, yeah. And I will say the comics have continued to try to make them a big deal, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't. I just don't care.
That's okay. They can. They're those two of those characters that are just like, yeah, and they're around during the rebellion. Cool.
Yeah, that's fine. So were a lot of people, right? Get back to Wedge.
Get back to Wedge.
My main man, Wedge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah, that was issue number 71. We're going to keep on trucking, and the next issue promises a fool's bounty. And I'll say the cover of the next issue is definitely Luke Lando staring down into the carbonite freezing pit.
It's pretty wild. Isn't one of them going like, you first?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Meanwhile, whatever. I'm just back here saying like, hey, where are Zuckuss and Forlom? There were some other bounty hunters on that bridge.
I do like that they're just like, you know what, we got to collapse this, though. Some of those guys don't count.
Oh, poor Zuckuss.
Yeah, man. When is Zuckuss going to get his day?
Never.
Yeah, there you go, though. There it is. Well, if you want to check out more from us, and once again, I don't know, you'd be crazy not to. You can head over to our Patreon page, which is patreon.com/punchup, and there you get cool exclusive bonus content from all the shows on the Punch Up Entertainment Network, as well as helping support all of our shows. It is greatly appreciated. We do love our patrons.
We absolutely do. We also love the people who join us over on YouTube. That's youtube.com/@punchupentertainment. While you're there, please like, comment, subscribe. It really helps get word of the show out. We do lots of cool stuff over there, though, including visualized versions of this episode where you can read the comic along with us, see how weird it is that the person they were following was clearly not Bosk the whole time.
See how dumb Luke and Lando were in this issue.
But you can also see things like Punch Up Plays, where Elliot Lewis and I are playing through the Mass Effect franchise. I think by the time this episode comes out, the first episode of Mass Effect 2 will have come out, and I haven't been recorded yet, but I can't wait to see Elliot's reaction to the start of that game, which, if you've played Mass Effect 2, you know it starts with, let's just say, a bang.
Sure does.
But yes, all your help over there really helps us out, and we really appreciate what you do over there.
For sure, but I think that's going to do it, Gorgoni.
It will. As always, I have been Mike Gorgoni.
I'm John Campbell.
And remember, may the panel be with you.